Baddies Africa, trio versus trio versus trio. This is more of Terra. Please be sure to subscribe. Now, starting off, Summer ran up on Cold Killer. I just don't understand this whole beef that's still carrying on. It's the hate because Cold Killer clocked Dolly was like, I'm grown. I don't care about no trio because Dolly, you told us me, Summer, and Lex is the real trio. Like, girl, how old are you? Are you serious? Like I love that Cold Killer said that, and Cold Killer stand 10 toes by herself, and I love that Pretty P and Russian. I don't really like Russian like that, but they even jumped in it too, not jump into the fight, but when Cold Killer and Dolly get to fighting. Summer doing what she do best, and she jumps in, and Pretty P and Russia was right there, like, nah, we're not doing that because I don't think Summer learned her lesson from Ivory. Like, girl, you need to go lay down because if they tell Ivory, oh, that mama bear is coming out again. But honestly, like Dolly and Summer, it just don't make no sense. Like this whole entire trio thing is so stupid because Dolly really drags it. And that goes into like Ivory speaking with Cold Killer newest friends, which is K Rika and Fana. And I love that they said they don't have a problem with Lex. Lex is not really jumping us. She's jumping in with her friends with the fight. Like, all right, we're gonna get this 1-on-1 in. Like, I love that they said they don't have a problem with Lex because Kay had a point. How y'all fighting for others, but y'all got a problem when we doing the same thing? Y'all fighting for y'all people and we fighting for our people, but it's a problem when we do it though. But instead, Dolly, Summer, and Lex, well, not too much of Lex, but Dolly, Summer, and Lex, they sitting here literally jumping people. I love that Ivy had the conversation though, because Ivy was like, well, Lex and Elsie about to come. They coming here right now. So what's up? He already told Ivy, like, listen, the moment Elsie walked in, we getting that on. And you know she did the moment Elsie came in, they get to fighting. And not only did they get to fighting, Elsie threw a drink at Kay first. So it was just like, okay, y'all getting in the paint whatsoever. And it's so funny that the whole they jumped Elsie thing didn't come out in this conversation. So I kind of get what Natalie was saying later in the episode. Like, y'all only half ass telling me the story, but I didn't believe in that one bit though. Now, Lex is in the room too. Now, Elsie and Kay is fighting. Lex and Fauna and Ivy's just standing there. So once they get the fighting again, Lex was trying to break it up. But Fauna came to get Lex off of them. But I guess everybody just took that as, oh no, Fauna jumping in. But how can y'all see it like that if we're gonna say it again? Elsie and K Rican was fighting. Lex was trying to quote unquote break it up. Nobody jumped in right there. But the moment Fauna came to break it up with Lex, Ivory jumped in it. It was like, nah, we're not doing no jumping. Now I can understand why Ivory did it because Ivory thought it was a jumping situation, but it still goes back to why nobody jumped when Lex was trying to break it up though. Because it looked like Lex was holding K Rican. That's kind of what it looked like, but it makes no sense though that when Lex was trying to break it up, nobody jumped in. But when Fauna came to get Lex off of them, Security and Ivory just jumped in out of nowhere. Like, it's not clicking. It's not adding to me. I was very confused on that. Like, I understand Ivory because I can't even say Ivy the person that don't like to jump in, but Ivy, come on, we know you. But at the same time, nobody decided to say, oh no, we're not doing that jumping when Lex was sitting there looking like she was holding Kay Rican and letting Elsie get her licks in. I don't know. But Fauna and Lex get the fight. And I ain't gonna lie, they gonna be the two people that's probably gonna be fighting the most now because it looks like they always fighting. It kind of seems like people is coming for K Rican a lot. But when it comes to Fauna, Fauna gets in the paint, whether she lose or not. She's fighting, and her and Lex fought a good couple times. And some people saying, "Oh, she lost," but she still was sitting there fighting with Lex because we all know Lex can fight. Now let's move on to something else. Oh my God, Anna. DTB went to go see Anna, and basically it wasn't really much to talk about other than Anna said that she's leaving. She's leaving Baddies, but you know how many times we hear Baddies say they leaving Baddies, and they ended up right back on Baddies. Like, Anna, you're not the first person to hit Natalie, but you was the first person to actually like don't care. You really wasn't her friend and stuff like that. Everybody else became friends with Natalie, been friends with Natalie, and they fought her, but you Natalie be sitting here calling you and Scotty sister wives. So you know what? Natalie had that coming to her. But it was good that DTB and Anna do have a friendship. Will Anna really be missed? It would have been great to see Anna without Taseki and Biggie. So you know what? We don't know what's going on. But Anna is a pretty girl. She can go do other things. And she's a singer. She has good songs. Now, Dolly has a conversation with Ivory because she felt like her and Pretty P had a conversation and they squashed it. Dolly moving on from that, Natalie comes and she wants to have a conversation with Trio. This is, I can honestly say, this is like a big CEO move that she has made that I like. Even though Natalie don't be having good intentions, I don't think we've ever like really seen her have conversation. Well, this is the most we're getting new girls too as well. So she has to have these conversations with people. But you know, she has the conversation with Fana, Cold Killer, and Kay, and they addressed it like the situation that happened on the bus when Summer was calling her the wrong name, so she called Summer Winter, boom boom banging. But when she has the conversation with Tavi, Elsie, and Russian, didn't even know it was a trio or whatever. They all had their own personal reasons on why they don't like this new trio. Russia said she had a problem with K Rican because they always talking shit about Elsie, but K Rican didn't mention herself that she was talking about Elsie. Then Elsie said she has a problem with K because apparently before filming, K Rican was talking about her family, her man, her husband, and whoop de woo. And then Tavi said she got an issue with all of them because when the cameras was off, they jumped Elsie. Elsie went downstairs and they jumped them. Like, hold up. It just seems like some stupidity is just going on here. Is I don't know how true it is that K Rican was talking about Elsie family. We don't know how true it is that the girls quote unquote jumped Elsie off cameras. Russian Cream, I get Russian Cream point. I get it. I do get it. But it's also not that deep. At the same time, Natalie calls a house meeting. We all know they about to get that fighting. Some people feel like Tavi baby is inserting herself into situations, but we all do know people like that. Like if you gonna jump somebody, get ready to fight too, because it's a lot of people out here that don't like that jumping shit at all. But that's not really inserting herself if she's really there for Elsie and she sees that Elsie is really not a fighter. Y'all never just sit here and jump her like we gonna fight. And one thing I did like about Tavi, she fought all of them one on one. She fought all of them one on one. We have to pause here. Ivory has to be. Ivory is very lovable this season. First off, Ivory looks good. I got to give it to Summer. Summer confessional look looks great as well. Now let's get back into it. Now, Rolly Rolly had to stop it. She didn't have to stop it, but when everything calmed down, because it was really too much fighting that was going on, too much fighting at all. Rolly basically said that Elsie and Russian Cream basically kind of had like a plan to fight K Weekend, but Rolly had to shut Russian Cream up. Like, first of all, I'm a grown ass woman. You're not about to sit here and shut me up because Russian Cream said she just was trying to talk. Baby girl, if you just trying to talk, you get it out there. No matter who Rolly is, you talk, girl. But I'm not gonna lie. Rolly kind of had a point. I'm like, you know what, this kind of does make sense. But at the same time, I also just love Rolly because Rolly do just sit there and she smoke. But Rolly be saying real shit though. Like, we might not like Rolly as much, but things that come out of Rolly mouth, it makes so much sense. Natalie, it looked like Natalie is already choosing sides. Like the favorite new girls, which is Fauna, Cold Killer, and K Weekend. Like, oh, they're the problem. But everybody is starting with them though. I don't know if I'm bugging because I actually like these three girls, but everybody's starting with them because once they said they'll be cool and they ready to go out to the club, Summer get up and Summer want to fight. I was so mad Summer had K Weekend like that. I was kind of upset about that. But then here come Lex, and this is what I'm talking about with Lex. I like Lex, but Lex really, same thing like DTB said in one of them interviews, they don't fit in with Lex. Like, Lex is a different type of breed because as soon as someone gets finished fighting, here go Lex, and Lex is like, oh, I want to fight now. Like, what? And then what happened? Dolly old ass just freaking jumps in. Like, they're so whack because if Ivory's confused and Ivory's a real fighter, and if she's confused, then there's a whole bunch of stupid mess that's going on. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because I watch almost everything.